Hi, welcome to Is It a Film, a podcast that critiques and memes film and asks one very important question. Is it a film? We need to change our name because we answered that question last week. We've answered that question 3 different times now. And
no, it was only twice.
Well,
one time it was 2 times. So that equals 3, but it's actually just 2.
So
technically 2.
It's 2.5. We'll call it 2.5 times. We've answered this question 2.5 times. So I guess spoilers. We're talking about movies, and we always have spoilers, so spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Jonathan, a.k.a. my favorite masturbation technique is the Swiss Army hand. And I'm joined by my ever-attentive co-host, my best friend, my pal, my amigo, my Thru, Vincent.
A.k.a. Piss Army Ham. I just went with your AKA. I don't understand.
One was like an actual joke, and the other one was just absurd, stupid bullshit.
Yeah, I'm just bankrupt creatively.
Yeah.
I need to get some ideas. I need to drink some idea juice.
That's called absinthe.
No, it's just a bottle full of Hennessy. Just chug it.
Just do absinthe. Absinthe can make you hallucinate better ideas.
Are the hallucinated ideas the better ideas?
The best ideas are not the ones that come from your own mind. They're the ones that come from hallucinations. That are technically your own mind.
Oh, so that's why Stephen King wrote so many books.
On cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah, but because it wasn't hallucination, because cocaine is not a psychedelic or a hallucinogen, that's why his ideas aren't good.
This is episode 18 of Is It a Film, an episode we would like to call Harry Potter and the Silent but Deadly.
Yeah. Neither of us could come up with a good title this week.
We're creatively bankrupt. We hit the slump. Today we're going over the 2016 American comedy drama adventure film Swiss Army Man. We're going to go over the basic ass intro, telling you why it's important. Go over the Wikipedia plot summary. Go over some Google and IMDb reviews. It gives you a terrible last segment, which and this time is based in reality.
Oh God.
Before we start, you can find Is It a Film on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Is It a Film. And you can find us at youtube.com/Is It a Film. So, what's the clickbait title for this week? What is?
I mean, this film, I always figure like Socialization, the film. Because that's basically what this film is.
Socialization with a farting corpse.
Yeah, Socialization with a farting corpse.
No, I think it's better. Socialization explained by a farting corpse.
Yeah.
That's some good clickbait right
That's
there.
some good clickbait right there.
Today we're going over the 2016 American comedy drama adventure film, Swiss Army Man. It's written and directed by Daniels, who is the duo of Daniel Kwan and Daniel Shiner, who have notably done some interesting side projects such as Interest Ball, which is a short film.
It's Interesting Ball. You forgot the ing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
On Wikipedia, it just says Interest Ball.
I've seen an Interesting Ball and like a bunch of our fans. I've always just called it Interesting Ball because that's like what was on the title sequence.
See, that's not what I remember about it. It's the fact that one dude's going up another dude's asshole.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. He's being sucked in.
I've seen like most of their short films and their music videos, and they're all just...
They're a lot of thrusting.
There's a lot of thrusting, and there's a lot of emphasis on ass.
Yeah.
Like, an abnormal amount of focus on
just grotesque movement,
but like always for a comedic purpose, and always some weird ass thing that just comes out of nowhere, like the fucking like human mech suit for the guy builds up his frat bros in order to get his ex back.
The film, who also they've done some music videos for Foster People with Houdini, which is pretty similar to this, because in the music video, foster people are killed by the stage equipment, the lighting equipment in the first shot, and then for the rest of the film, they're being slung along like puppets by the corporate greed that is the music industry, which is fantastic. They also did Tenacious D's Rise of the Famous Phoenix, and their most notable, DJ Snake and Little John, Turn Down for What, which is a guy's literally air thrusting through floors.
His penis literally, when he's unconscious, keeps dancing for him. And we understand where they tested their effect for the compass in this film. Also, they did like a music video, and I can never remember like who the band was for or what the song was, but like the whole thing was just like a bunch of hunters are like hunting a nudist colony, and whenever they would shoot them, like they would like be clothed all of a sudden whenever they got shot. It was the weirdest fucking thing.
The film stars Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe of Harry Potter.
Dan and Dan. Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe.
And it's also an A24 film, which means it could be
Really good or really bad.
really bad.
There's very little in between.
Yeah. It's either this or Hereditary.
It's either
Or no, not Hereditary, Midsommar.
or Hereditary.
Hereditary's like mid.
Yeah, I guess I just wonder if you middle.
Except for if you're 99% of the population, because apparently that's like an instant classic. And if you say anything else, whatever his name is going to come to your house and slit your throat. Whatever his name.
Ari Aster.
Ari Aster is going to come in and be like, I can write good scripts. Everyone else thinks so. So if 99% of the population thinks it's a good script, but you don't, you're wrong.
Yeah. And, so yeah, A24 films can either be The Witch or fucking.
Swiss Army Man.
No, Swiss Army Man's good. Fuck you.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
I was trying to come. I always blank on the name of it for some fucking reason.
Green Room.
What?
Green Room?
Green Room's good.
Yeah,
I was trying to find another bad.
Oh, that one. I don't know.
It's the one I mentioned the last time we talked about A24. The one of all the fucking Disney stars gone bad.
Oh, Spring Breakers.
Yeah, Spring Breakers. It's either this or that. This one I have to look up the title of because it's just so fucking ridiculous.
What is it?
It has Charlie Sheen in it.
Oh, is it the... No.
This is the first film A24 ever released. And they came out fucking swinging. But unfortunately...
I don't think I've ever heard of this film.
Exactly. I did not know this film existed until I was literally just looking on A24's website, like, oh, what are all the films that they've made? And I went to the very beginning, and I was deeply confused by what the very beginning was. So let me look this up, because its title is fucking ridiculous.
Is it... I'm winning?
No.
Is is it during...
You will not be able to guess it, I can guarantee
Is it, like,
that.
do you know what era of Charlie Sheen it is? Is it winning phase or the phase where he caught AIDS?
It's like...
Or is it like... Is it like post-AIDS announcement era Charlie Sheen? Or like...
It was like pre, but it was like mid-complete mental breakdown. Is this it?
Are you like searching the deep web for it? I don't think...
No, yeah, here it is. A glimpse inside the mind of Charles Swan III. It has a 28 score on Metascore, a 4.8 on IMDb. And
what is it about? Have you seen it, this film?
No, because I have a limitation of how much bullshit I can put up with.
But like, what is it about?
It's about a graphic designer who gets depressed when his girlfriend breaks up with him. Unlike what my older brother did, but actually I'm not gonna go.
That doesn't sound too bad. Where's like besides the title?
I don't know. It's Charlie Sheen and like an attempt to make it, and like it's absurd.
Oh,
it takes Charlie Sheen and Frozen to like an attempt to be like funny absurdity, without, and that's all you need to know. No, it's gonna be bad because this is like post Scary Movie Charlie Sheen, post 2.5 Men Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen,
the great heights that he once climbed.
This is literally Charlie Sheen realizing he no longer has a paycheck to fuel his drug habit, desperately taking any job he can get.
So like after this, he did the 9/11 movie, where he survived going down the elevator shaft. I think
he did a 9/11 movie.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of this.
Whoopi Goldberg. I think she's in it too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's so many.
To the witch, the depth she has fallen. There was a joke in there. I didn't intend it to be that way. God damn it. Let's move past that.
It's too soon, Vincent. It's been almost 2 decades.
It wasn't soon enough for them to capitalize on it and make money. That was the second 9/11 movie. There was another one with Nicolas Cage.
There's a fucking ton of 9/11 movies. There's the weird one with Robert Pattinson where it's like a completely normal ass, boring as shit fucking melodrama that would be like passable by melodrama series, but then at the very end, 9/11 happens and he dies.
I think that may be the one. No, it's not the one with Nicolas Cage in it.
No, it's literally a movie and it's just like a basic as fuck like romance melodrama film, and there's literally nothing that tells you like what time frame it's set in, nothing to tell you what's about to come. There's zero setup, and like the moment like everything seems like it's gonna be going together, you see a newspaper that says it's fucking September 11th 2001 and he gets his new job and he just got on the fucking World Trade Center and he looks out the window and the movie ends with him getting ready to die in 9/11.
What is the purpose of it?
Emotional manipulation.
Just to be like super melodramatic.
It's just like, hey, do you remember 9/11? That was sad, right? Are you sad now? Are you sad? Oh no, because I didn't have any form of build up to this, and this is just very clear emotional manipulation. Oh, I'm a piece of shit. Oh, okay, my bad. I'll just leave now.
Why is this film important, Jonathan?
It's fucking hilarious, and I love it.
That's good.
Yeah, films don't have to like that. That's all it needs to be.
All films need to be important, Jonathan.
All films are important because they exist. Maybe we have to decide if it's a film first before we know if it's important. But,
I think it's a film.
it's a film. We answered.
Oh, you spoiled it. We got
fuck.
redact statement.
Redact this.
I'm allowed to say
We have to redo our entire intro because we have to cut this all out.
No, you're missing it. I'm allowed to say it's a film. You're not allowed to, because I usually ask what you think.
Oh, redacted.
Yeah, good.
I'm gonna throw in the biggest fucking plot twist.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the FBI block that out. Redact. So do you know what Wikipedia is, Jonathan?
No.
God damn it.
You explain it every episode anyways. What does it matter if it says yes, no? It doesn't fucking matter. Maybe.
Let me speed rush this. This thing called the internet.
Can you explain it in German?
No. I was gonna try to do that bit, but just no. I know that, like, there's a rule of improv where you're always supposed to say yes, but this time I'm just like, no.
This isn't the Yes Man starring Jim Carrey.
I don't think that relates to improv. I think that's just relating to someone who's just a really shitty infomercial person trying to pass on a form of life to Jim Carrey. And
Did you actually watch the movie? I did too.
It's decent.
It's decent, yeah. I have met very few people who actually watched that movie.
It has Third Eye Blind in it.
Oh, yeah, it's the fucking acoustic cover to talk a guy off from the ledge of a building.
It's the only time I'll actually listen to Third Eye Blind. Okay, moving past it. Except for when Trevor sings in the car, because he does a really good job of it.
Oh, that's nice. Good for Trevor.
Wikipedia is the online encyclopedia where people can look up things to figure out what they are, what the things are, and how they can use them.
See, what's going to happen one day when you're asked, like, do you know what Wikipedia is? I'm just like, yeah. Are you going to explain it anyways?
Yes.
That's going to look like a jackass. That's why I say no. It's for your sake.
Yeah, it's also the greatest resource known to man, sometimes known as dolphins. And
dolphins can't use the internet, all right? The servers keep shorting underwater.
I don't know why I laughed at that. I shouldn't. I should have just gave you a stern look.
It was a bad joke.
Friends don't let friends make bad jokes.
I make so many bad jokes and then you laugh at them. I think, if anything, this is on me for letting you laugh at bad jokes by continuing to make the bad jokes.
Well,
I am fueling your addiction. I am an enabler, and I am sorry.
Good, you should be. You can also look up plots of movies on Wikipedia, and you can get
and spoil the whole thing.
Yeah, it's sometimes more enjoyable just to watch that, and it saves time too than to actually watch the movie.
Basically, here's the only time where I'd say, like, absolutely just read the Wikipedia summary and stuff watching a movie. There's a sequel that you heard was good, but the first movie you heard was really bad. And you want to know what the fuck happened in the first one to get you ready for the sequel.
No,
only time.
I say at that point, you just read the Wikipedia page for the sequel too. So that way you don't even have to watch a movie.
We are literally on a podcast about film and our love of film. And your suggestion is just don't watch movies anymore.
Just read them.
Just read them.
Because we've art in society. At one point, film beat out the written language. Now we're at the point where the written language is more accessible than film.
So Stephen King wrote a book, and Stanley Kubrick adapted the book. And then the internet adapted Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of the book.
And Stephen King didn't like either adaptation.
And Stephen King was still a jackass. No one cared.
He's like, oh, there wasn't a flying turtle. But that wasn't even in this book. There wasn't a flying turtle.
There was references to the book that has a flying turtle.
Okay, you ready to read the Wikipedia summary? I mean, by we, I mean just you.
Yeah, I know. Let me get some water.
No.
Let me try.
I want your dry ass. I want you best.
You want my dry ass?
No, dry ass throw. I want you best Tim Curry impression.
You want me to read this whole thing in a Tim Curry impression?
Yeah, you've done a minute straight of that terrible it noise, so I think you can do anything at this point, Jonathan.
All right, let me get my voice prepared.
If you actually fulfill the bit, I'd be most impressed.
Kiss me, fat boy. Okay. Hank Thompson, a man marooned on an island, is on the verge of hanging himself, but sees a corpse wash up on the beach.
You win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've beaten me. I am now mentally ill.
I have beaten you at your own game. Get fucked.
Okay.
Read it normally this
Yeah,
time?
please. Or just any other voice is better than that. I don't care at this point.
Hank Thompson, a man marooned on an island.
That peaks, so don't do that one.
Okay, let me just back up. Hank Thompson, a man marooned on an island, is on the verge of hating himself.
I think that's supposed to be like some type of clown, but it just sounds like Jerry Seinfeld.
It's Jerry Seinfeld Pennywise.
No, it's like if you literally just say, "What's the deal?" and then you read the rest of the sentence.
What's the deal with airline food?
No, you don't say airline food. You just.
What's the deal with Hank Thompson hating himself?
Just normal voice.
Normal voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you have any other impressions you want to wow me with.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
Hank Thompson, a man marooned on the island, is on the verge of hating himself, but sees a corpse wash up on the beach. He tries to resuscitate it, but the corpse bemuses him with its incessant flatulence. As the tide begins to wash the corpse away, Hank watches as its farts propel itself around on the water. Hank immediately mounts the corpse and rides it across the ocean like a jet ski. Support us on Patreon so Vincent can buy
Jet ski.
Dan Radcliffe's naked farting corpse.
No, I just want a jet ski.
Oh. Or a jet ski.
We'll get it. When we touch on at the end, when we touch on how reality actually impacts this, maybe.
Okay. Landing on a mainland shore but far from civilization, that night the two of them hide in a cave from a rainstorm, and after the runoff pours into the corpse's mouth, Hank realizes the next morning that the corpse has yet another power. It can be used like a well for a seemingly infinite source of drinkable water. The corpse also begins a slow transition into speaking and acquiring a grasp of the English language. Adopting the name Manny, Hank and Manny continue their quest using Manny's erections, fueled by a swimsuit magazine they find as a compass.
This is just like, I don't know. It's very spectacular. How just reading this, because none of it makes sense.
None of this makes sense, but in the film, it makes sense in this weird, like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I accept this as reality in this film.
So, like, there's, like, one thing I can go over, especially in this first scene, the makeup and just the fake prop version of Daniel Radcliffe they use
is fucking excellent.
Are excellent. There's also a photo image out there somewhere of Daniel Radcliffe posing with his, like, dead doll he's next to. It's terrific, and I think the makeup and the special effects in this is great. Also, the music in this
is so good.
Is terrific because it's 90% humming and just obscure noises.
It's mostly a cappella.
Yeah.
And this literally they'll just take like a random noise that Paul Dano makes and then like loop it, and then he'll make another noise and they'll loop it, and then it just turns into like this random cacophony of just vocal noises.
Yeah. It's weird. Usually we've been going through this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be reflecting more, but also at the same time, I feel like there's nothing really for us to bite down on because it's pretty. When you read it, it's pretty cut and dry. Even though it makes no sense.
Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but like it actually hits like all the main plot elements, and there's very little yet, at least, to like focus on, except maybe the fact that like the one girl that Paul Dano's character was it Hank.
Yeah.
Hank's like has like on his phone, but like I'm sure it's gonna mention that later.
Yeah, or not. Or if it's we've read a lot of Wikipedia summaries in our day, it could not reference it. She could just be not present in this.
Yeah. Manny has forgotten everything about his former life, and Hank tries to teach him. Did my tongue just click? I could have sworn while I was talking I heard my tongue click.
That doesn't matter. Unless it's like a permanent feature of your mouth now. I don't think it is going to be a factor into this podcast.
Wait, this isn't the Hereditary review. Manny has forgotten everything about his life, and Hank tries to teach him various concepts about life, but Manny's childlike and shameless interpretations of these concepts conflict with what Hank considers socially acceptable behavior. Going back to what I said, this is socialization with a farting corpse. It's based, the whole film is this like weird, beautiful, nonsensical exploration of like how we're basically socialized to believe that certain things are acceptable and certain things aren't, and it takes the childlike naivety of a farting corpse to point out how some things are maybe kind of ridiculous, and it's beautiful. Moving on.
Yeah.
Over the course of their journey, Hank teaches Manny the joys of eating out, if you know what I mean, going to movie.
That was not funny. That was guaranteed not funny.
Yeah, guaranteed not funny.
I don't know what that was, but don't do that ever again. Don't turn it into a bit. I don't want this to be like...
I'll make it everything into a bit.
Oh, God.
Everything's a bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to teach them the joys of eating out, going to movies, partying, and the true joys of the Swiss Army hand.
You're trying to make that like funny, and it's getting increasingly less funny.
Good. My goal in life is to ruin every joke I make. To make it's funny, and then I just run it into the ground until it's dead. Do you know why?
Why?
Because then nobody else can use that joke anymore. It becomes my joke forever. People will remember vaguely the one time it was funny, and then it'll never be funny again.
This has got like too dark.
Copyright is useless in the modern age. Pirating is too easy. Joke stealing, Amy Poehler's got that down to a science. So what I have to do is I have to protect my jokes by ruining them myself.
You're wilding in today.
I'm tired.
I think you just had like. Did you eat a bunch of sugar before you came here?
I think I've had like 4 pops throughout the course of today, which is a lot more than normal for me.
I can tell.
Using crudely constructed props and sets made from plants and garbage they find. Using these, Hank leads Manny to believe that Manny is in love with a woman named Sarah who rides the bus alone every day. Manny falls in love with Sarah, and it is this love that motivates him to try a civilization with Hank. In reality, Hank is very much in love with Sarah, having seen her riding the bus every day but never talking to her due to his own shyness. He has a photo of her that he took secretly while on the bus set as the wallpaper on his phone and follows her on social media. As he looks through photos, it is revealed that Sarah is happily married and has a child.
Is it revealed before the end?
Yeah, there's like it's.
I didn't.
It's
I guess I missed that part.
The end of.
I know it's revealed in the end. I guess I just didn't.
There's like I don't think. Yeah, it's closer to like when he's getting closer to civilization and he finally gets like signal back. He like hops on Facebook and he like sees all.
I know that part, but I don't think
it's too early in the Wikipedia plot summary.
Yeah, this Wikipedia plot summary sucks.
Yeah,
that's why we use them every week.
This Wikipedia plot summary is fucking Christopher Nolan itself by putting things out of chronological order.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say by having really annoying loud music.
Oh, I mean, I guess it could also apply that has like underwritten female characters.
No,
and is overhyped.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is overhyped like Christopher Nolan.
Current era, yeah. Dark Knight is worth the hype.
Dark Knight is just a basic ass noir film, but also with Joker.
Yes.
Nolan for that movie is overhyped.
We live in a society, Jonathan. Do you know this? Do you know this? We live in a
that's what this is about. Socialization and society.
God damn it. How dare you throw my own jokes back against me?
Because I'm untouchable.
So no one can use them.
Exactly.
God damn it.
I'm protecting your jokes too, Vincent.
I don't want anyone to protect my jokes. I just want my jokes to live out in the wild.
Like Hank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Free from socialization?
Yeah. It's something that's I think I want to touch this a little bit now. How the fuck did he get out in the wild?
He was on a boat and then his boat crashed. He hit a storm. It's vaguely mentioned.
Okay. I don't remember it then. We also watched this movie a month ago. Because I asked Jonathan what he wanted to do, and then we just like didn't want to do any work this week.
We watched for this week, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about when we watched the movie because we just like randomly threw on 2 movies.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap, yeah.
We should do Spinal Tap next.
So we have to do less work.
Even less work.
And then next week we'll just read the Wikipedia page and that's it.
Next week we'll literally read the Wikipedia page for Wikipedia.
Oh.
And that's our review for adaptation because it's too meta for its own.
Okay, I want you to continue reading, but I'm also going to look up, does Wikipedia have a Wikipedia page?
Okay. Hank impersonates Sarah to help Manny learn how to talk to women, but they end up connecting and kiss. They have a falling out after Hank reveals that Manny never knew Sarah during his life. Feeling betrayed over Hank's hypocrisy and self-restraint, Manny states he wishes to be fully dead again.
Shit. It does have a Wikipedia page.
I knew it did. It's Wikipedia. It has a page for everything.
But like, I don't know. It's like that type of deal that like that issue where does a mailman deliver his own mail? It just seems weird. Like,
I guess if it's in his zoning district,
I don't think it's like, isn't it like illegal?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know why I would say that.
They're probably not assigned their own zoning district. That makes sense.
That's probably why, because then you don't want people going through their neighbor's mail.
Yeah.
Like I would. I would take that really shitty neighbor down the street that parks his 20 cars in the fucking middle of the road. I would just not deliver his mail.
You not deliver his mail.
I would not, because he parks in front of our one neighbor's mailbox and she can't get her mail because he has the 20 cars because he's running a chop shop out of his fucking 2-bedroom apartment.
That makes sense. That makes economical sense.
But he's just an asshole.
Oh, well, yeah, then fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
steal his mail.
I would not deliver his mail. I wouldn't steal it because I don't want to keep it.
Throw it in the river.
I would give it back to nature. Nature created it, and we return it back to what it once came.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Circle of life.
Circle of life.
Yeah. Circle of mail.
At one point, all mail comes back to nature.
From the dust the mail comes, into the dust it shall return.
Because it goes into a landfill.
Yes. Fuck, where were we?
I don't really remember. I think Hank impersonates Sarah.
Oh yeah. Wait. No, we were. Manny states he wishes to be fully dead again. At this time, Hank experiences strange mental flashes of surreal images recalling his journey, and suggests that one of Manny's powers is to affect his mind. Despite the tension between them, when Hank is attacked by a bear, Manny moves under his own power for the first time, crawling after his injured friend, igniting one of his farts from their campfire to scare the bear away. Hank loses consciousness and wakes up to Manny carrying him to Sarah's house, despite Hank's protest.
This is one of the most awkward scenes in film ever. And I hated and loved every second of it. It's just so awkward, and you're just
There's
like
so much awkward
he's-
shit in this
he's
movie. This whole film is like awkward in a very like lovable way.
yeah. At least it's like it's withstandable because it's just like awkward between like two people who are developing a relationship with each other on like
Yeah.
a friendship level.
It's like awkward, like
But the rest of it's just like this random chick being thrown into the mix. Or not random because she's introduced through
Yeah.
the film, but like this someone unknowing being thrown into the mix.
yeah. While Sarah is in the house, Manny talks to Sarah's daughter, Chrissy, expecting her to be impressed. He demonstrates several of his powers, inadvertently frightening her with his compass erection, which Hank quickly slaps down. Sarah is alerted by her daughter's crying and calls the police at the sight of Hank and Manny's once again inanimate corpse. Hank is soon patched up, but the cops discover the photos of Sarah on his phone and become suspicious. Hank's father also appears, mistaking Manny's corpse for Hank when asked by the paramedics.
That's like, how did he didn't look at
Yeah,
it.
he refused to look at it.
But
Which
like,
I feel like that's a blatant disregard of like protocol.
Yeah.
Like I guess you're allowed to like let them look at it later, but he still has to eventually look at it. You can't just like be like, oh, okay, well, go home, I guess.
it'd be better if like the cops. I think it would be more traditional Daniel style if the cops were like, look at it, just chasing.
Stop resisting.
No, it'd be more like reality if the cops just beat him up for
Yeah,
no.
just straight up tase them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think this thing is too unrealistic in that regard that they're not immediately shot for being in existence. That got way too dark.
Police brutality. It's not a joke. It's a real problem.
Not in this film.
Not this film.
This one they just don't care about.
Well, this film's surrealism and absurd, so it doesn't follow logic and rules. Yeah. That's about the paramedics confirms his identity. After being interviewed by the local television news and deliriously professing on air his gratitude for Manny and his magical powers, Hank runs away with Manny's body. Hank's pursuers discover the structures he built, which in actuality seem to be quite close to Sarah's house, as if he had been there some time instead of journeying through the forest. The police, Sarah, her husband, her daughter, a reporter, a cameraman, and Hank's father all follow him to the beach. Cornered, Hank lets out a long fart as he is taken away by the police. Shortly after, to everyone's shock, horror, and in Chrissy and Hank's father's case, amusement, Manny begins violently farting until he floats back into the ocean and skims quickly away, propelled by his own flatulence. He and Hank sharing one last smile.
Like this is the most important part.
Yeah.
The ending is the most important part of the final segment we're gonna have today. Just keep that in mind.
Okay. So, general thoughts on the film?
It is good.
It is good. It's one of my favorite comedies. It's just...
I think the thing that makes it the most is there's an actual display of passion and everything that's being done from the music, the props, the set design, just thing. It's ran buskets. It has themes on things like pollution and the things we throw away, to how essentially just society runs, and it's stupid.
Yeah, it's has the passion from like the themes. There's passion put into how like well thought out the fart joke is in this film, because that could have been like a very like cheesy, shitty gimmick, but there's like actual like thought and care and concern for how like the fart joke is executed that I haven't seen since like Mel Brooks' first like major fart joke and Blazing Saddles, which is crazy.
That, and
there's only ever like one film I can think of that put a lot of thought into its fart joke, and it's of all fucking things Master of Disguise. And that's literally the only joke in that whole fucking film that works, is like the fart joke, and it only works half of the time.
oh, you don't find the Master of Disguise funny?
No.
When he gets in the turtle suit.
Look, the only way that scene would have been good is if he accidentally turned into the turtle god.
I thought that was fucking hilarious when I was like 5.
Yeah, that film was so good when I was
5,
a toddler. And then, like, when I was put in the hospital for my lung collapse, my family was there, and they're like, let's watch a movie. And my older brother was like, let's watch Master of Disguise. And
How
I
old
like,
was your brother?
Well, keep in mind, I was a senior in high school when that happened.
So he's like,
And he's 4 years older than me.
oh,
So he was in college. And he was like, I haven't seen this in a while. Let's put it on. And I was like, why? I was like, A, I'm in the hospital. I should pick the fucking movie. I'm the one literally attached to a wall here. B, I'm being tortured enough as it is.
and now he works for Disney.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, because he has no standards.
He's a good here. He's a very, very, very talented animator.
That likes Master Disguise.
Yeah.
So he is
He doesn't have a lot of like
good qualities.
No, he is.
That's what you're
He's a
telling
good
me.
person. He's a good person. He's got good qualities. He's a funny, kind human being, and he's a very talented animator. But in terms of like actual artistic like drive or storytelling, he's an animator. He's very good. He's technically
Wow, way to sell your brother.
My older brother is a technical genius. He begins and ends with him. When it comes to like film, that's his main concern. It's just like, can I animate well? And that's fine for him. My older brother's a good guy. He does really good work.
I don't know why you're trying to
love
sell
him
me
so
your
much,
do you want me to date your brother? I don't understand the purpose
My
of
brother's married. All right, move on, Vincent.
I don't want
It's
to.
too late for you.
I want
You have
someone
to
who
find someone else.
I want someone who watches Master of Disguise the way I did when I was 5. I want someone with a childlike. That got really creepy. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna end it there.
Please stop talking.
Unintentionally. Got almost as creepy as Master of Disguise when he bit all the dude's nose off and then he moved.
That
them
was
off.
just weird. It made no goddamn sense within the context of the film.
When are we gonna do Master of Disguise?
Never.
I'm really interested now. Now we have to do Master of Disguise.
Damn it!
you set the bar for Master of Disguise.
We talked about Master of Disguise. That was my first mistake. We also talked about Shark Tale though, and we're not doing Shark Tale.
Shark Tale. We're doing.
We're not doing
I
Shark
saw
Tale.
a bit of it on HBO or Cinemax. I can't tell. Whatever. Skinamax. It wasn't porn. Actually, no. It might solicify because it has Will Smith in it.
Does that automatically make something porn?
Maybe. I don't know. I think the way I set up that joke, there was supposed to be a punchline there. I don't know what it was.
You come up with like all these setups, but you have no punchlines, and that's your issue. See, like I have punchlines, but no setup.
That's why we work.
But we don't have the same like thought process. You have like setups, and I have punchlines for different jokes, and it's just stupid nonsense. Like Master of Disguise.
Do you know what a Google review is?
Yes.
Thank you. No, I don't have to explain, but I will anyway for the
Damn it.
members of the audience who don't know what Google.
I was trying to speed the shit up.
You can search up movies and research movies or look up movies or whatever you want to do with these movies. Sometimes illegally download them, but right next to the banner will be a banner to say what the movie is, what the Rotten Tomato score, what the IMDb score, what the Google score is, and you can leave your own reviews. What was that? I
heard something. I don't know
I
what
heard
it
a
was.
goat. But moving past the weird ghost in the corner.
We didn't do Max's comments.
Well, she did. It was that weird moaning.
No,
noise.
we can get an actual comment from Max today.
No, I don't think we need to. I don't think she's loud enough for the mic's pick up, so we're literally just talking to the corner that doesn't exist.
Probably.
There's actually no other.
Max, do you want to come closer and give your
No,
comment?
I don't think she should.
Okay. Well, basically, I'll summarize her comment. When she saw this movie the first time, it gave her an existential crisis, but she still wants to fuck.
I think that's just that.
So, that's the summary of her comment that she gave me earlier.
So you can leave. Users can leave their own reviews, and for this one, Swiss Army Man scored an 87, less than Silent Hill the movie, which has an 89, a glowing 89% on Google reviews.
That's almost an A. In some schools, that is an A. The good schools.
The best.
Can we just stop doing Google reviews because they're repeatedly showcasing that they're fucking stupid?
This week, I went through and I got only bad reviews.
You only did, of course you did.
Like, not bad in the sense that I don't know how any of these were written because I don't remember, but like, sense of people did not like this movie. Starting with number 1, Kelly Heitman, who gave this a downvote, and she said,
I found it to roll between juvenile and art. Mostly, why does those two things have to be separate? Juvenile can be artistic. This is artistically juvenile. It's juvenile with an artistic point and purpose.
"You're not allowed to be a kid." That's what she's saying.
Yeah, basically, remember, if you want to be artistic and smart, you have to be sad and depressed all the time.
That's why Midsummer is so fucking good.
Because it's sad and depressed all the time. If we open with some really triggering shit, that means we're artful.
You're not wrong. To 90% of the audience that liked the movie.
It was forced and tried for the twist ending that left me. This wasn't really even that much of a twist ending.
Like, I knew he wasn't like in a relationship with her. I knew that fact, but I just didn't know they had like a daughter.
Yeah, but that's not even really a twist. That's just like, oh, she had a daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not a twist ending. It's like, oh, she's in a long-term committed relationship that ended with a kid. That's common.
Yeah,
That's not a twist.
I think the twist ending was like she doesn't exist. No, like she like physically that person doesn't exist. It's just a really well drawn photo.
that would be a twist I wouldn't have seen coming, but still would have actually fit with this film.
I want that ending now.
Let's see. Harry Potter hits all-time low in his career.
Actually, no. Horns. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's terrible.
I have seen Horns.
Is it terrible? I just know it's like...
It doesn't hit the... Okay, so Horns is based on a novel written by Stephen King's offspring. I'll remember.
Offspring.
Yeah.
Not child.
Yeah,
offspring.
It's his offspring. I'm putting it in terms that Stephen King would like, for his sake.
Oh. Child orgy.
Yeah. But, and it does not hit the lows that Stephen King's film adaptations have reached.
You say lows. I say crippling highs.
It has also not reached the actual highs that it's a film that has some decent elements, but some really bad elements too. It's a film that like has so many things that they're like trying to do, but it doesn't commit to any of them, and it just ends up being a confusing mess. Like it's the horns are supposed to be representative of like 15 different things at once. And it doesn't commit to any of one of them enough to be like actually get a point across.
I haven't seen that, but the reason I mentioned that if it was low because that was like literally the first thing he did after Harry Potter.
Other than that weird play where he was like naked the whole time with a horse.
Was he?
Yeah.
I want to see that play. I'm really interested in that play.
There's probably a video somewhere.
Just him naked on a horse.
No, with a horse.
Oh.
There's other things going on.
Naked. Is he fucking the horse?
I don't think he's fucking the horse. He might be. I didn't see it because I was busy doing other things, watching other movies with naked people.
You're watching them with naked people?
I'm pretty sure I was watching Antichrist actually, like right after I first heard about this, and there's like a lot of nudity in Antichrist.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like you were watching movies with naked people. You were fully clothed, obviously, but the people weren't.
Yeah, I had this weird phase where I just started hanging out with nudists and watching movies. They like,
but you weren't nudist. You were fully clothed.
I did become a nudist. I was just friends with nudists.
It's common.
It's common.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. You know, things happen.
Finish this review so we can get past it.
That's gonna be a glare now. That was a joke.
What, are you not allowed to hang out with nude people?
Apparently.
That's mean.
Yeah, poor nudists.
Sometimes the smartest people don't put on clothes.
Actually, that's not like a false statement. A lot of people who are really smart will just hide out in a desk and not wear a lot of clothing. That's what
That's why I'm smart.
Fuck, who was the guy that Aviator was based off of? Howard Hawks. Or Hughes or whatever the fuck his name was, that like Leonardo DiCaprio played. He was barely ever clothed in his office. He was like a great film producer and a like aeronautical genius. Smart guy, barely wear clothes. Alfred Hitchcock, smart guy, barely wore clothes.
For a creepier reason.
Yeah, his reasons were not because he was genius, more because he was a pervert.
I think you can say the same thing for Louis C.K.
Except I wouldn't call him a genius. His
No, I wasn't talking about the genius part. I was talking about not wearing clothes.
Oh,
But
yeah.
forcing people to watch. That's also
his comedy was juvenile and not in this kind of juvenile way. It was juvenile in a lowest common denominator kind of way. And this gives me an excuse to say slanders kind of way.
No, I was just trying to glorify the point to find a way to say the N-word without saying the N-word.
Yeah.
Or no, he actually did say the N-word.
Yeah, he also said...
With getting away with it.
Yeah, and also said the F word a lot.
Yeah.
Made a whole bit out of it. It was stupid. Did we actually finish this one?
No.
We left off at Hit's all-time low.
Harry Potter hits all-time lows, which is fault.
We went on a fucking, like, crazy-ass detour.
We always go on crazy-ass detours.
Flatulating through an entire movie, while maybe it could have worked. That's a sentence in their mind. That's not a sentence in reality, though.
Double checking to see if this is Daniel Radcliffe's all-time low. If Horns is. I don't know.
His all-time low would be if he had a feature in all-time low.
Oh. Trying to see what other movies he did after this. I know he's in something coming up. I don't remember, but continue.
Probably the next Harry Potter movie.
This is wrong because it's actually juvenilely beautiful in a sense.
Yeah.
Of how explaining the world to someone who doesn't.
It's literally a film about like the childish understanding of like how society works and trying to force them into like a socialized box. It makes sense if it's juvenile. It wouldn't work if it wasn't juvenile. Anyway, I couldn't force it to be the creative art piece it was going for. It sounds like you are the one responsible about whether or not it's creative or not the people who made it. Did they work on this film?
This is actually one of Daniel's.
Were they like a random PA and I was like, I want this to be great, and they're like, nobody listened to me. I hate this movie.
That sounds like someone who just came out Full Sail.
Yeah. Anywho, moving on. Justin Abraham wrote the most disgusting, disturbing movie ever made in the history of Hollywood film. Two things here. We've talked about a lot fucking more disgusting and disturbing before. Second thing, this wasn't a Hollywood film. This is an indie film.
Yeah. So
it's not part of the Hollywood film industry. Therefore, making your entire comment on this stupid. Anyway, I'm going to keep reading this because I saw a word that he chose to use, and it makes me laugh, so I'm going to get to that point.
Okay, what's the word?
The fact that this movie is made original and bold doesn't make it any special or entertaining. I couldn't even finish watching this film for 30 minutes straight. Okay, again, we've talked about this before. If you don't finish a film, you don't get to review it. You just don't.
Apparently, Daniel Radcliffe is just in a movie called Jungle.
Oh, is that the racism one?
It's just I don't know. It's just called Jungle. I don't want to.
Is it upcoming?
It came out 2 years ago. Group of friends join a guide for a trek into the Bolivian jungle searching for an Indian village. The men soon realize that the jungle is a difficult place to be.
We've got a ton of movies that tell us that. It's called a ton of movies about that very topic.
But the thing I was
most of which are based on Heart of Darkness.
But the thing I was actually working for, he's in Miracle Workers right now on TBS. It's a show where God's just going to destroy the planet because he doesn't believe in humanity anymore. So real life.
Yeah. The first few minutes was enough to make me vomit. What?
We reviewed Kuso, which I don't know if that's the grossest film ever made.
Nah.
I bet there's something out there.
But when fucking Pink Flamingos exists, it's hard to beat that.
But there's nothing in this that made me gag. There's just a bunch of fart jokes.
There's fart. It's just
And awkward
juvenile.
boners.
Have you? This person would be like, what? This person would have a fucking heart attack if they watched Family Guy or South Park. They'd get like, they wouldn't make it through the fucking South Park theme song without fucking dying.
Yeah, because premise is pretty weird.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh my heavens, and then they'd fucking pass out and die.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. First few minutes was enough to make me vomit. Please stop making these experimental garbage flicks. Please stop watching movies in general.
Is that your request after their request?
Yeah, that's my request for Justin.
Yeah.
Clearly, you should just go watch Transformers
Okay, can we
again.
read this next slide?
You might see some think tank wannabes speaking highly of this movie. What the fuck does that...
Are we in a think tank?
You don't even understand what a think tank actually is. A think tank is literally something that goes into, like, concept creation. The think tank would be the people who are getting ready to make the movie, not the people who would speak highly of the movie. That's called a critique circle.
I think he's talking about some weird form of echo chamber.
Then use the phrase echo chamber, because think tank and echo chamber are two different things.
Let me really into this.
You fucking idiot.
I'm ready. This is the role of a lifetime. I'm rereading. I'm gonna read it in Justin's actual verse. Are you ready?
Okay.
Do you even pay attention to these fashionable nonconformist cucks and save your vulnerable? I don't. That started out Southern, and then I don't know what it came in the end.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
But it's just fitting. So continue.
Valuable time to watch something useful or entertaining.
But here's the thing. Based on literally everything that you have just said about this film, your idea of useful is Kirk Cameron saving Christmas.
But he saves Christmas, Jonathan.
No, he doesn't.
He put Christ back in Christmas, which we all need.
He literally makes a bunch of lies about the like formation of Christian or like Christmas traditions. Basically says Santa Claus was a fucking like psycho who beat the shit out of people, which fair, historically accurate.
Was he? I have no idea. About
Yeah, the Saint Nicholas was like psycho. He, like,
which I would assume because he's going down people's chimneys.
Yeah, but no, it's just I don't even understand where to start with this. Like the most disgusting, disturbing movie ever made. This film has just it's fart jokes. Have you never seen any horror film ever made?
But that's blood. That's different.
Okay, well, find it. Have you ever seen Scary Movie? Or literally any of those shitty parody movies? Literally the first Scary Movie has a fucking scene where like a guy comes so fucking hard it shoots a woman into the roof. That's a fucking scene from Scary Movie 1.
I guess
that's a real fucking scene.
Sure? I don't remember
it
that.
is because I like for the longest time was like that can't be real. So I had no choice. I had to fucking Google it and look it up, and it was fucking real. And I was like, oh yeah, that was real, and I hate myself. That's a scene that exists in an actual Hollywood movie.
Yeah, these think tank wannabes.
All these think tank wannabes with their fucking disgust. So I've heard this person hasn't watched a movie since the 50s, and they've been in a coma all this time, and they like woke up from the coma, and there's like, what's all? This is the first movie they watched after their coma, by the way. That's the only way this makes sense. And they're just like, oh, they said the fuck word.
Oh, just wait until he sees more, not separate beds, just one bed.
Yeah.
You can have an aneurysm.
What's this? A bathroom and a movie scene. My heavens.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a weird part of
Yes, that was like a big fan of Psychos that they showed a flushing toilet.
Yeah.
Old Hollywood's weird.
Old Hollywood is weird because it's really racist too.
Yeah, and like the old production code makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, point being, Justin Abraham is an 80-year-old man who has been in a coma since the 50s.
Yeah.
And he watched his first movie since then, and he's in for some fucking shocks.
So
he keeps watching
you
movies.
know we reached the bottom of the barrel because both of these didn't have likes. People didn't like these reviews.
Oh shit! Not at all. Damn. Holy shit!
I wish I could say the same for the IMDb's, but those actually have a higher amount of likes.
I feel like you picked the first person because of the name. DJ
I did-
Reeser.
yeah, I
you
forgot
son of a bitch.
Yeah, IMDb. Do you know IMDb, Jonathan? I explain this to you every week. It's an internet movie database.
I know what it is. All right.
I have to explain
Free
to
to
you.
films.
All the movies
I
are
want
stored
free
there.
range movies.
It's an internet movie database, and you can critics can leave scores, but also users can leave scores. And it currently has a 7 out of 10 user score on there.
Which is better than
Actually,
Silent
no, it's actually critic score 7 out of 10, which is better than Silent Hill, which has only a 6.4.
Only. It should be a lot lower.
The high heart, but it is Silent Hill, the film. First one's from DJ Reeser, which is Jonathan's DJ name.
They spelled it with 2 E's. It can't be me.
Is it still Reeser or is it Reed?
No, that's the English spelling. Okay, here's the history of the name Reeser. So Reeser is originally a German.
No. I'll explain to you the history of Reeser. First there was Sir, and then there was another one, so it's Reeser.
So Reeser is originally a German name spelled with an I and an E. And then when the German people immigrated to Britain, they lost the I. Then when they immigrated to America, typically they had an extra E added onto it. My family did not. We kept the regular E from immigrating to Britain.
Yeah, I think my ancestry is similar. We were like really stupid. I don't even remember what it was.
Your last name is short.
No.
Right? What happened was they were assigning middle names or like last names, and your ancestor
No.
walked up there and could barely reach the podium. They're like, "Look at this short loser," and then that's just how your last name started.
it's like worse than that. We were like short stockings or something like that. It was really fucking stupid. I can't even remember what it
Your
was.
shortstops for baseball?
No,
that's
it's like-
impressive
it's
because that was
like-
before baseball.
It was like really. It's like this was like weird like 2-word last name. I don't understand it. I don't even remember what it was, but I just know it was stupid.
I like my story better of your ancestor like waddling up to the podium but not being able to like see over it, and then that's how they gave him the last name. Because that's how they assigned last names. They would go to a podium and some dude would just give them the last name.
I like to imagine your ancestral story, but it's like the Indiana Jones map. So where they're like where they're immigrating to these places, the little dashed arrows, but they're dropping off letters as they go along.
Here's a fun little fun. This is actually really shitty. I did like one of those looks like where is your last name like most commonly used, and like it also goes like the history of it. So like where was like if they had changed it, like where would they be now? And so it followed like Reeser is like, oh yeah, it was most commonly used in Germany until the 40s, in which case it became most commonly used in Argentina. And I kind of had this moment where I was like, oh shit.
Isn't that?
That's where the Nazis went after.
Yeah,
World War
no,
II.
I thought was it that or was it Brazil?
It was
I
both.
thought, isn't there like a story out there that Hitler still lives and he like lived and he went to
Yeah, there's
Brazil?
like a story that Hitler didn't actually die in a bunker, and that was like all propaganda, and he like escaped to Argentina and like lived the rest of his life out until he died of old age. Or according to the man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot, he hunted him down and killed him down and killed Bigfoot.
the same day. I hope so. he was just having a good week.
He was just like, man, like all my targets are just like coming together. Bigfoot took a vacation to Argentina, bam. Bam.
Maybe there is some truth to the story. Maybe just as the grenade went off, he shot the grenade.
Literally, like, as he, like, throws the grenade, like, Bigfoot just, like, comes running out. I was like, hey, boy, guys, what's up? And then they're both dead.
No, he didn't throw the grenade. Didn't Hitler kill himself with a grenade?
No, Hitler shot himself in the face.
I thought he like put a grenade in his mouth or something like
No,
that.
that would have been, like, ridiculous.
I just remember there was.
top for
I just
him.
remember it was.
Actually, it might have been cyanide. He did something simple.
It was. Yeah.
He either poisoned himself or he just shot himself in the face.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
I like how you said it was ridiculous over the top,
No, like, if a grenade would have been ridiculously over the top. If he, like, put it in his mouth and then blew it up.
but it's Hitler, and a lot of the stuff he does was ridiculously over the top and didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay, ever seen his speeches? I can't understand a word he's saying.
It's almost like it's a different language.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's fascism too.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous and stupid.
It's almost like there's like this weird conquering cycle that we're just getting fascism today, and the similar rhetoric that I don't know, some president of the United States had is very similar to what Hitler has.
Yeah, something about making their country great again.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
very similar. It's weird.
Yeah, and something about putting people in camps.
Yeah.
Gee. That's not reminiscent of anything.
Yeah. DJ Reeser, Idiocracy, 1 out of 10.
Really? Question mark. When watched the great satire Idiocracy.
Okay. When watched.
Okay, to be fair, Idiocracy is actually like a decent movie.
Idiocracy is 2 on the nose.
That's the thing though. It's like it's so satirical it stops being satire.
It's at some point like in like 5 more years. It's bad now, but like it's a good film, but it's like it like hits too close to come. Yeah, and like give it like 5 more years, it'll be like sorry to bother. It's one of those things like it's just like
Punishment Park, where it's like Punishment Park was really on the nose for its time. You're like, oh okay, but then like it became really on the nose again. It's like fuck.
Yeah.
I never thought that the scene about a film ass, literally just a shot of a man's butt against a black background farting for 90 minutes straight, will ever be brought to life in any possible variation. If you watched this movie and all you got was
ass.
Daniel Radcliffe fucking farts a bunch, doesn't he? Hand me that beer, bro.
Don't ever do that voice ever again, please. Okay. That freaked me out.
Okay.
There's like some weird levels to it. I don't even understand.
All right.
I don't like it.
Okay. I'll do it again while you're around. But like if that's all you got from this film, like I don't know what to tell you. Because if literally the farting kind of goes away like pretty quickly in the film because they shove a cork up his butt.
I don't remember that part.
Really? You don't remember the part where he shoves a cork up his
Also,
butt?
we watched this a month ago. I'm surprised they even remember the fucking title.
Yeah, there's a scene where Paul Dano shoves a cork up Daniel Radcliffe. Well, you don't see him putting the cork up, but like you see him finding the cork, looking at Daniel Radcliffe's farting corpse, and then the next scene he's not farting anymore. Yeah. So it's like a put 2 and 2 together moment. But yeah,
maybe that's why I can't put 2 to 2 together. I can only put
you don't know
1
math.
and 1, which is 3.
Well, like, yeah, if that's all you got from this film, I don't know what to tell you because you clearly can't watch movies.
Yeah. So here it is.
Here it is. I was hoping for a good ending that would save this movie, but forget about that. It's got a great ending.
It's got a great ending because he's able to actually let go and not let society hold him down.
Yeah. It's literally about like self-acceptance and learning that like, maybe the way we're socialized to expect these very specific ideas of ourselves aren't necessary. We can be who we want to be in a way. It's really weird. People are looking for a deep meaning to it. There isn't. There's a ton. The only positive thing I could say about this movie is that you might laugh because of its stupidity. I was laughing, but not because of its stupidity. I was laughing because it's well-crafted jokes. But that's whatever.
But it flew too high over his head. He couldn't catch it.
Yeah. As I said, some ideas Idiocracy predicted have been brought to life. This isn't even the point of Idiocracy. Was people like paying to watch stupid shit. It was about how we stopped caring about like intellectualism and like of age, and it gets to a point where like everything is stupid. Politics is stupid. That was the main point. Is we forget.
Oh, we got Hulk Hogan played by Terry Crews as the president. Actually, no, it wasn't beautiful because it was still end of the day Hulk Hogan. So fuck that guy.
But it's Terry Crews.
It's Terry Crews playing a dislikable character.
Yeah, just okay. Terry Crews can do anything.
Yeah, but still, at the end of the day, I don't like the character.
Whatever. Pete, the world is doomed. If this is why you think the world is doomed, I don't know what to tell you.
80 out of 183 people found this helpful.
80 out of 183 people are
doomed to.
My guess is not paying attention to the world around them because they think this is why we're doomed.
Yeah.
Cobra Power.
Cobra Power.
Dumbest movie I have ever seen.
1 out of 10.
I can't even begin to describe how ridiculous and stupid this movie was. I am utterly amazed how this can have a user rating of 7.9 on IMDb.
So it's even higher than Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Almost by a full point.
Yeah. This writer has some serious internal issues to be able to come up with the script. What issues? See, this is literally what they're complaining about. People are so held up on like, oh, this isn't normal. You're not supposed to fart in normal society.
Which is kind of the opposite point of the film is that you're not supposed to care about other people. You're more supposed to care about
they are literally what this film is like complaining about. Is people like them. Holy shit.
It's too close to home for them.
Yeah.
They feel represented, wrongly portrayed.
Yeah, they related so heavily with like early Paul Dano that they like
What was early Paul Dano? Oh, like at the
His
beginning of
character.
the film.
Yeah, where,
Oh.
like, he
I thought you were
doesn't-
talking about like previous roles.
No, yeah, they only relate with him in There Will Be Blood, where he plays a murderous preacher.
What, he was in There Will Be Blood? I've never seen that.
It's a good movie. I highly recommend.
All I know is the milkshake
He's not really
scene.
murderous. He's more just like scheming and evil, and then he gets murdered.
Yeah, all I know is there's the milkshake scene.
Yeah, that's
I,
really
I
good.
drink.
I
your
drink
milkshake.
your milkshake. I drink it up.
From my knowledge, it's just like 90 minutes of that.
It's that
He's just going
scene,
up to
but then-
people and just-
no. What it is it's the music video for My Milkshake, for like 90 straight minutes. Then that scene, and that's it.
That sounds bad. I wouldn't see that. I want 90 minutes of him just going up to
It won an
people.
Oscar.
I don't think that won an Oscar.
The actual movie won an Oscar. Anyway. I never write reviews but for this movie, I am compelled as a citizen of the United States to do so. What does that have to do with anything? That has literally nothing to do with this.
I feel compelled as a citizen of the United States to tell that Cobra Power is a very fucking stupid name, and that you should take your fantasy of being a member of the the Karate Kid universe and shove it up your ass.
I feel compelled as a citizen of the United States to tell Cobra Power that you're a fucking idiot who is just the reason society sucks.
Yeah, I love this next line.
My girl and I were just looking at each, shaking our heads. This is not
Well, okay, can we get real? This guy's probably just talking to a mannequin.
yeah. he was. Oh my god,
A sex doll.
a sex doll or a corpse.
Oh my god, either or.
That's why this movie hit too close to home. He was like, this corpse better not start farting. I swear to God, you start farting, this relationship is over.
That's pretty good Mark Wahlberg impression.
Nah, I didn't beat up an Asian.
No, I thought he beat up some dude because he was gay.
No, he beat up some dude because he was Asian. He wasn't XXX.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg.
It's amazing how we as a society like collectively forgot about that.
Yeah. I have a Funky Punch CD down there if you
Of course
want
you
it.
do. I don't.
I got it for $1. I always get dumpster CDs for $1. If it's $1, it's a good thing in my collection because when next time he fucks up, I'll be like, hey, got the CD. It's important.
This is not a comedy nor an adventure, and definitely not a drama. It wasn't trying to be a drama. I can't believe how this got greenlit to be made because it's indie. You don't have to fucking like get some big studio ass executive. Be like, yeah, it makes
No, he
sense.
probably believes that you have to go to the president of the United States to.
Oh yeah,
sign
that's
these
why he
films.
was calling about being a citizen.
And this was made in the Obama era. So, it's all on him. Yeah.
FYI, if you have a fetish for farting, erections, and I feel like a fetish for erections is just called being attracted to people with a penis. Like it's like, do you want to have sex with a penis in this particular moment? Like, sure, why not? That's not a fetish. That's sex.
Moving forward.
When this and complete nonsense. When this movie, by all means, is absolutely for you.
Then this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Going back.
If you have a fetish for farting, erections, and complete nonsense, which is
A lot of fetishes, actually.
yeah.
It's either just the base sexual attraction or weird things on Pornhub
Yeah.
or deep in art.
Yeah, farting's, I feel like farting's actually a pretty common fetish, and complete nonsense, it can literally be described for like most fetishes. That's way too broad of a term. Then this movie, by all means, is absolutely for you. The only highlight of this film was the popcorn and Coke we had.
No, he's probably talking about crack.
That explains it.
Yeah.
Crack and Coke.
Crack.
69!
69 people out of 156 found this helpful. And I think
I'm willing to bet that one of those people, the last one, really just did it to braid up to 69.
I wouldn't. I would lower it to 67 because we eternal suffering and damnation for all. I already asked this, but we're gonna do it again. Is it good?
Yeah, it's very good.
What tier is it?
I'd say I love this film. I think it's an S tier.
SA,
Comedy.
somewhere on that.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for the final terrible segment?
Sure.
the real world implications of the ending. I'm not talking about our world. I'm talking about if you take the base nature of how reality works and apply it to that film and its ending. What the fuck happens afterwards?
So basically, Daniel Radcliffe continues to fart until eternity. The methane gas in the atmosphere gets way too high. Global warming skyrockets, and we all die.
That's actually kind of what I was going for. I was talking about more about like.
And Paul Dano goes to jail.
Does he? Here's the thing I was thinking of.
Gross abuse of a corpse.
No, but they have footage of him flying away.
Yeah, but they also have all the other shit that he did, and it's still a corpse.
But like, here's the thing: what could they charge him for besides just like laundering?
Gross abuse of a corpse.
Is that like an actual crime?
Yeah, that's a crime.
I don't think so because
It definitely is. I literally just watched somebody get like sentenced
No,
to jail
I'm not
for
saying
it.
it isn't a crime. I don't think it would be because he's alive.
No, he's not. It's still a corpse. He was pronounced dead.
Technicality. He was, but then he was
honestly,
alive.
I feel like at that point they're so pissed off at him they would literally charge him if anything. That they could. Honestly, reality at the very end, we don't see it, but he gets the shit kicked out of him by those cops.
Probably. That's very depressing. I was gonna think about the fact that the government would see this and they would literally industrialize Daniel Radcliffe's character.
Well, they'd have to find him.
They would.
The sequel to this is literally just the government hunting down Daniel Radcliffe's farting corpse and attempting to turn it into a weapon.
No, I was thinking about they figured out how it made it work and then they just start turning all corpses.
I feel like that implies too much reality. I think we have to take the base assumption, which is like this is absurdist, but then it turns into reality. So like there's no explanation for how this corpse works and they're not able to reproduce it.
If you prog anything with a stick enough, you can figure out how it works.
You failed science, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just like, how does this frog work? And I would just poke it. And then the professor would be like, yeah, that's not how you do it.
I just want you out of my class, A.
Okay, that's enough for a final terrible segment. It was bad like always.
Yep.
And final question, most important question, redacted question, wasn't answered earlier. Definitely not. Is it a film?
No. I promised a twist.
Oh my gosh. What is it though? In that TV episode?
No.
It's
just not a film.
What are you fucking Cobra Power? What are the fuck
This
their
is
name?
my twist ending.
This is
This is a film that transcends the label of film. It is pure art.
okay. You're in your own. What is it? Give me a second.
Think tank.
Think tank. You are a fashionable nonconformist cuck.
Yes.
You
to all
roll
three.
between juvenile and art.
Yes.
And something else. Let me see. Some ideas, idiocracy predicted.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's been it for this week's episode of Is It Film.
About
And
fucking time.
If you want to follow Is It a Film on Twitter, Instagram,
Don't know
Facebook,
why you would.
you can find us at Is It a Film. You can find us at youtube.com/Is It a Film. Find us on your podcast streaming services.
They're all my bad jokes.
Find us on our podcast streaming services, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and Google Play Podcast, Apple Podcast, and Spotify, searching The Anthony and Todd Show. And until next time, guys, I'm Vincent.
I'm DJ Reeser.
God damn it. God damn it. And see you, boyos.